Episode 1. 2,000 years ago, in the mythical age, there existed a great demon king who single-handedly destroyed all the humans and gods in the world. He was called the Demon King Anos Voldigod. He died 2,000 years ago, and a Demon King school was created for his pride. It has been rumored that he will reincarnate among that year's Demon School Academy, and one student will be the Demon King. As the school resumes, a young girl, Misha, walks into the school and her guardian is screaming her name from behind her to wish her well. She gets destabilized, and her entrance slip falls. Another guy, Anos Voldigod, walks past her and takes the form for her. He gives her back. Anos' parents scream his name, and he tells her they are the same. They enter the school together and they meet a proud student of the royal family, Zepes, who asks why they came with their parents to the entrance examination and ask if they're babies. Anos doesn't reply and Zepes threatens to fry them up, but Anos quenches the fire and freezes him. For the examination, the first is physical combat, and his competitor is Zepes. He reveals that he is the reincarnation version of the Demon King. He defeats him, kills him, and resurrects him till he gives up. After the examination, he invited Misha home. At home, his mother says he was born last month, and he quickened his growth. As he sees Misha away, they see Zepes and his brother, Leoric, who challenges them to a fight. Leoric kills Zepes for embarrassing them and attempts to use origin magic on Anos, but he tells him he is the origin, and such magic can't work. He defeats them, then resurrects Zepes. Episode 2. He is called the Demon King of Misfit, and he wonders why. And when he asks Misha for the name of the Demon King, Misha says Avos. He finds out they know of the wrong name and has the wrong history of the Demon King. During the class, he corrects his teacher's drawing. They are shared into different groups, and he meets Misha's sister, Sasha, who challenges him to a duel. He accepts on the condition that if he wins, she will join his group. He wins without stress, and she asks why he wants her. He tells her she has a lovely eye. He takes Misha and Sasha home to his parents. After the meal, Sasha appreciates him for mending the horrible relationship between her and her sister, and she calls him to come closer. She kisses him as he comes near her. Episode 3. That night, Misha and Sasha talk. In the conversation, Sasha apologizes to Misha. The following day at school, Misha asks Anos what she can give Sasha for her birthday. That day, one of Anos' creations, Avos, teaches them. Anos calls Avos by his full name and asks if he remembers him. However, Avos doesn't. He touches Avos and takes him to the past. When Avos returns, he remembers him, but didn't talk. So after the class, Avos tells him he knows him, but he wants to remain neutral. The students are asked to search for material at the Demon King's castle, Anos' home. He takes Misha and Sasha to a private room, where he tells Misha to pick a gift for Sasha. Outside the room, Sasha stabs Misha. When Anos asks him why, she tells Anos that he is easily deceived. But Anos says she is good, as there isn't a demon of destruction in her eyes. He heals Misha and tries to punish Sasha, but Misha begs on her behalf. Sasha runs away and Anos asks Misha who he is. She tells him she is not real, she doesn't exist, and she will vanish on her 15th birthday. Episode 4. She explains to him that when they were in the womb, Misha was created and given Sasha's soul, so Misha isn't a real person, and she will vanish soon. He meets Misha, who explains that she's acting to save her. He tells them he can go back in time and change everything. However, as he's about to do so, Avos arrives and stabs him. He tells Avos he can't die by stabbing, and he defeats Avos. Later, the god of time, Yugo Larabias, comes to attack him for changing time. While they fight, he takes the girls back. He defeats Yugo Larabias, and the girls return as real twins. He tells them he has to hurry to class and get a perfect score. And Avos also arrives and acknowledges him as his master, and says the devil wiped his memory. Episode 5. During their next class, he figures the teacher Emilia is discriminatory against a particular class of the class, the Unitarians. One of them tries to defend herself against the comparison with the royals, but Emilia doesn't give her an opportunity. However, Anos jumps in and saves them. After the class, the girl Misha appreciates him and tells him about the Unitarians, a class secondary to the royals who are pure blood, and she says she wishes the royals and the other groups are one, and asks Anos to join them. They go for their sword training, and only one student, Lei, is skilled with sword, and Anos asks to duel with Lei. Anos defeats Lei, but after the fight, he tells Lei that Lei looks like someone he knows from his former life. Episode 6. After the fight, he takes Lei, Misha, Misa, and Sasha home for dinner. He welcomes the last two members to their new team. At school the next day, the teacher announces a sword tournament in which Lei and Anos will be representatives. After the class, Misa calls him to say that the head of the Unitarians, Melhes Boran, one of the 7 elder demon emperor, is here to see him. He meets with Melhes, who acknowledges that he is the demon king, but pleads with him not to participate in the tournament. He asks Misha what she wants as a gift for treating him to dinner, and she requests an outing. During the outing, he sees Avos as a cat who tells him Melhes isn't the real leader of the Unitarians, and that the leaders have something planned for him during the tournament. Later, Avos tells him the leaders are Gaius and Yidor, members of the 7 elders. He refuses to participate in the tournament, and people mock him for being a coward. He decides to go and make his people proud by ensuring he doesn't fall into the traps. Episode 7. He fights against Krut, the last tournament's winner, and wins. He fights the next one too. After the fight, he gives his mother his sword, goes to Lei's mother at the hospital, and Sheila reveals that Lei is working for the royalist to get her treatment. Misa waits to help Sheila heal, while Anos goes to save his mother and some other girls from Amelia. Lei gets to the hospital almost dead. Sheila tells him to live his life before dying. The student also prepares for the final fight between Lei and Anos. Episode 8. The duel starts and Anos wins. It turns out Melhes is the one who organized the contest. Melhes, Gaius, and Yidor take them to another dimension, where Anos fights and defeats them. Melhes threatens to kill Sheila. In the dimension, Sheila is a sword to Lei, which he uses to break through. Upon arriving at the battleground, Anos is declared the winner. He is awarded a sword which Sasha gives him, and she pecks him. Episode 9. In the past world, Anos goes to meet Kanan to beg him to end the fight, but the captain of Kanan's team, Jirga, refuses to start a fight. Anos injures him. In the present, the students go for an inter-academy class where he meets 2 people who call themselves Kanan's reincarnation. He easily defeats one of them, and the other asks him if he is also reincarnated. He says he is searching for Kanan, but the girl tells him Kanan is dead. He was murdered by a human 2,000 years ago. Episode 10. Upon arriving at school, he reveals one of his classmates scammed during his first class. Also, he, Misha, and Sasha see Lei on a date with Misa. The student continues their inter-academy examinations. His classmate, Revest, decides to take the examination for the class, but he loses when the student of the Hero Academy defeats him. Anos finds out Hero Academy's student has cheated. He evaporates the water and prepares for a second round, which the principal, Diego, asks Hero Academy students not to do, but they insist. Episode 11. Anos' team realizes that the heroes are using a barrier, so they also build a castle. As the fight between the 2 groups continues, the heroes hear a voice telling them to kill the demon. On the other hand, Misha enters a shrine where she meets angry Diego. Anos arrives to save her, and Diego insists he won't let his people lose. Anos tells him to stop pretending to be human and show his real form as a demon. Diego orders his students to start killing, but Anos stops him before it's too late and carries Mishu out. Episode 12. Eleonore, one of the heroes, tells him she is human magic, and Jirga's thirst for revenge remains for years. Jirga's spirit is divided into 2, human magic, and she is one of them. She aims to create several clones to keep fighting, and she always hopes a savior will come. She asks him to kill her, but before he does, a clone version of Diego arrives. Also, Avos returns and declares war against humans. All of Anos' friends accept to help him, and while they fight Avos' team, he goes to confront Avos himself. As they fight, he uses magic to make him reveal himself, and it turns out it's Lei, who is indeed the reincarnated version of Kanan. Episode 13. Lei explains that humans made plans 2,000 years ago to defeat Anos, so he had to rewrite history and makes his story forgotten, thereby creating an Avos. He fights against Lei, although weakens Lei, but decides to die so the enmity between humans and demons will stop. However, Jirga doesn't like that. Jirga jumps into the fight, but Anos tells him humans do not hate demons. It's Jirga that hates demons. He defeats Jirga, thereby ending the battle. He reunites with Misha and Sasha, and Lei goes back to Misa. Thanks for watching our video. If you want us to recap the next season, let us know in the comments section.